and then bounce back, obviously. So we've seen that. Hey, top 3 properties, regardless of what the market's doing, they're always going to be rented. They're always giving you value for money. So we call them kind of recession proof. This doesn't mean that a recession's coming, but inevitably, a lot of times I get this question asked to me by people who ask me and say, what if the market corrects? These are people who've not seen 2008, have not seen 2005, they've not seen the pandemic, but there's this constant fear that they've got at the back of their mind. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon, and share it with other people. If you've got different comments, put it in the comment section. Share your opinion with me. These are my top 3 picks, okay? First, what you'd like to do is you would pick a 1-bed or a 2-bedroom, okay? A 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. You could think about, hey, why not a studio? In my opinion, no, stick to a 1-bed. The reason is that for a 1-bedroom, there's a very large pool of tenants. And you might say, well, why not for a studio or a 2-bed? It just doesn't happen, right? Most people are looking for a 1-bedroom. The guy or girl who lives, or a person or family lives in a studio, it's a smaller pool of tenants, okay? So the largest pool of tenants is for a 1-bed. So I would give this a 95% recession-proof rating. The 2-bedroom, it's for families, okay? For families. And I would give this an 85% recession proof. Why do I give it an 85%? Because the pool of tenants, even with families, is slightly lower, okay? But you're pretty much recession proof, because with a 1-bedroom, if the market's slowed down, these people will not move up to a 2-bedroom, okay? But it might be too difficult for them to move to a studio. And generally speaking, there's a very large pool of tenants that can still afford to pay rent in a 1-bedroom. So you gotta pretty much keep it hunky-dory. Like, things are just gonna continue going as is, pretty much. Maybe a little bit of adjustment in your rent. Again, with a 2-bed, it could be a husband, wife, and a child, or a husband, wife, and sometimes 2 children as well in Dubai, or a husband, wife, and a mother, so to speak. And it's very difficult then sometimes if a recession's there, they're not upgrading to a 3-bed, but they can't downgrade to a 1-bed. So you're pretty much kind of like in a very sweet spot, with a tenant always almost ready to take up a 2-bed, or your current tenant's going to continue staying, okay? So this is one recommendation. The other is a townhouse, okay? But not any townhouse, okay? Not too big a townhouse, not too small a townhouse, okay? So a decent size, okay? Not too big. Mid-size. Too big, sounds good, seems glamorous, but then you're again pushing up to the luxury segment. It's just a decent size. But here's the kicker. You want it close to the park, okay? Swimming pool in the community. Most townhouses are near swimming pools. And if you can afford it, then a single row. This is a good thing. So if it's a single row, it's good, okay? I speak from experience, right? During the pandemic, there was this gentleman, he had his 1 townhouse, always rented for the last 2-3 years. Even during the pandemic, the tenants paying on time, didn't lose their job, everything hunky-dory, right? Last but not the least, okay, I'm going to talk not about an asset, but rather I'm going to talk about location, okay? So from a location perspective, you want to be close to center or residential, okay? If a market corrects, when you're out there, they call it in the boonies, the boondocks, okay? The outer suburbs, okay? Dubai doesn't have a very super developed suburbia, okay? Like, Dubai is still pretty centrally located, okay? We're not London, we're not Toronto, we're not New York, okay? We don't have the Hamptons, the Long Island. Dubai is quite still centrally located. This doesn't mean that suburbia is not developing. It is developing. People like to live out in the outer areas. But the closer you are to the center, even when rents fall, even when rents fall, okay, even when rents fall, your rents, you'd still get a tenant very easily, number one. Number two, when rents adjust, people like to move to the closer to the center, right? So if they're living on the outskirts, but they're coming in and commuting every day to the center, whether it's in downtown, for school reasons, to the airport, on a daily basis or a once in a while basis, but it is a chore for them. It is like a little bit of a trip. Then what's going to happen is the moment a correction comes, rents correct, these people are going to start moving in here. So then if you have an apartment on the outskirts, to hold your tenant, you're going to have to drop prices more. You're going to have to give them a free month. You're going to have to take on more maintenance onto yourself, right? You just have to become a better landlord, a better business person, and keep your customer happier to keep them. Whereas if you're in the downtown location or the prime or the residential area, you're attracting people, okay? This is not to say that Dubai would correct and things would really go bad. No, that's not the case, right? I've seen the market over the last 15 plus years. The moment rents correct in Dubai, people from Sharjah come over, right? So if you notice that the traffic's quite horrendous right now, this is not new for those who are new to Dubai. We've seen this back in 2006 and 2007, 2008. I'm pretty grateful about it, alhamdulillah, because it means that there's business in the country. There's business in the city. So you guys don't know what it is to feel after 2008, the global financial crisis, right? We've seen the city empty, and then bounce back, obviously. So we've seen that, and so I'm very grateful for the traffic, alhamdulillah, right? Alhamdulillah, and I want everybody to be in a peaceful state. I don't wish anybody misery in traffic, but the other side is a little bit more dangerous. So close to the center, people will move in, okay? So very quickly, 1 beds, 2 beds, recession proof, especially in a residential area, okay? I should have added that, residential areas. Then if you want to go into a townhouse, stick to a mid-sized townhouse. Have a park, swimming pool, single row if you can afford it, and then location-wise, stick to the residential areas. Hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. And if you want to buy a property in Dubai, there's a link below. Hit it, click it. Let's talk. Ciao for now.